Alrighty. Just wanted to give a little update on what's going on. Today is Thursday. Yeah, so we are in Thursday, May 21st, 2026. It is 6:28 Central Time. Just wanted to give a quick little update. Got some good news. The good news is I have less than 6 weeks to go. So I was hired by Pam on the 27th of December when I was officially hired. So from the official date is your 6 months employment. So I am on, next Wednesday will be my 5th month. So I pretty much have 5 weeks left to go. Pretty much 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more weeks, and my 6 months with Pam the contract that I made with Pam will be completed. I can't believe it went so fast. Time really flew, and I've been living in the truck since December. I never went home. I never went back home. I did go home to close out my apartment and stuff like that, but Pam let me take the truck with me. So they actually let me take my truck, just the tractor, not the trailer. Just a tractor to go home and get my stuff out of my apartment and stuff like that, because I told them, and they were nice enough to let me use the truck. I drove home and I pretty much packed all my stuff into the truck. The stuff that I was going to take, I had to throw out a lot of stuff. Air conditioner and my bed and $400 mattress. A couple of things I had to throw away. I mean, I had to throw away a lot of stuff that I was not going to fit in the truck. So, but no regrets. I have no regrets. So today is the 21st. I'm 6 days away from making 5 months with Pam. 5 months. I can't believe I've been doing this for 5 months now. Learning a lot. I've more experience with truck driving. It's pretty easy now once you kind of, for those of you who want to get into trucking, after a certain amount of time that you go and let me just say something to all those people out there who doubt Pam, talk a lot of negative stuff about Pam Transport. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't know what they're talking about. I do know that people, when you don't do your job, yeah, they're gonna call you. They're gonna call you and say, hey, what's going on? Why are you still sleeping? You're supposed to be on the move. They will start calling you. And that's not micromanaging. That's just calling you to see what's going on. I mean, this is a business. This is not a, sleeping and stuff like that. And I talked to some of the guys in the team that I went to school with. And I was telling them, hey, man, they never call me. They don't micromanage me. And some of them were like, well, they micromanage me. But you got to read between the lines. You find out that they're sleeping. They'll turn their phone off. You can't do that. You can't. If the company's calling you, you gotta answer the phone. You gotta be responsible. This is a job. You know. One thing about Pam, I learned for the 5 months. This next Wednesday makes 5 months with Pam. So today's Thursday. Next Wednesday, I'll be 5 months with Pam, and have 4 more. It pretty much is 5 weeks I got left to make 6 months with Pam, and it went smooth. I have no complaints against the company. I've tried to see if there's any complaints, but the complaints that I have, like I said, cleaning the truck and stuff like that, they gave me a new truck. Like, even though I had an old dirty truck, I used to keep the inside clean. They gave me a brand new truck. Brand new truck. This truck is only like a month old. It's brand new. It's a 2027 Peterbilt. It's brand new. It got the new car smell, So it's like, on the outside, it's spotless. I try to keep the truck clean. Even though they don't let me clean the truck, I clean it myself. Kind of wipe off all the bugs. I got a video. I showed how I was cleaning the rims. Keep the rims nice and shiny. It's just something that I do. I don't have to do that. I do it because I like to do it. And it gets you out the truck. Something to do when you're in your 34 reset. Instead of sitting on your butt all day doing nothing, it gives you something to do. Get out the truck, move your body around, clean the truck up, I appreciate the company. The company appreciates me for running. I'm non-stop running. So the negative things that I was talking about what other people were saying about Pam, I don't understand what they're talking about. I really don't. The company is great. The company takes care of you. The company, when you compare this company to other companies, a lot of other companies don't fix their trucks. And they'll tell you, just run like that. Just run with it. Pam doesn't do that. That's one thing Pam does. They don't want their trucks running. They demand that you check your truck. You do a pre-trip. And you check your truck. If there's something wrong with the truck, they want you to call them and get it fixed. They demand that you fix it. Now, that takes out of your time, out of your run. It cuts into a little bit of your money. But guess what? They pay you for labor, for maintenance layover, right? So you got to wait until they fix the truck. You can't run that day. It might take sometimes it'll take a whole day. Sometimes it'll take a whole day. Sometimes 3 hours. Sometimes an hour. It all depends. But they don't want you. You want to run with a company. You want to work for a company that takes care of their equipment. They're not going to backtalk you. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Just run like that. No, they say fix it. They say anything wrong with the truck, call first response, get it fixed. You let them know. They'll say take a picture of whatever it is. You take a picture of it. They look at it. Okay, yeah, got to get it fixed. They'll set you up. They either send you to a Pam terminal, or they'll send you to the closest. They always send you to the closest repair shop. It could be a Love's, it could be a TA, it could be a whatever, a Petrol or whatever. Wherever the closest mechanical shop that fixes trucks. They'll send the thing over there and get it done. Then you drive over there and you get it fixed. They take care of the trucks. They take care of the equipment. They expect you to be professional. They expect you to take care. So I don't understand why other people talking about like Pam is this and Pam is that. And they make sure their trucks are, and they, like I said, they want their trucks to be inspected. And I got a DOT inspection, and I got a bonus. For not having anything wrong with my truck. And that same day, I had a mud flap problem, and I fixed it. And thank God that I fixed it, because Pam actually gave me a bonus for that, for having my truck, for not getting a ticket, a citation, a violation. I had a mud flap that was missing on the trailer, and I felt like not fixing it. I felt like, I just run like that, screw it. I said, no, that's going to be against my driver's license. It's my responsibility to get that fixed. Yeah, it's going to cut into my driving time. So what? I don't care. I'm going to go get it fixed. I called the company, it's called First Response, to the repair people, and right away they got on it. And right away, I already know. I took already a picture of it. The minute the guy said, hey, send us a picture, I had the picture, I sent it. Within an hour and 15 minutes, that thing was repaired, and I was on my way. So as far as people complaining about Pam, I like the company. I really do. Comparing it to other companies might pay you more, but they make you take more risk, and they nag you, and they're on your butt all the time. They're always calling you, where you at, what you doing, hurry up, you know you gotta get that load, and this and this, and they pushing you. You can't drive a truck like that. Pam doesn't do that. Pam knows. And when you have your DM, you create a atmosphere with your DM, because your DM maybe doesn't know how you drive. So people who talk about Pam, they don't have loads, all this crazy stuff, I don't know what they're talking about. I ran over 2,500 miles last week, so I've been making some serious money. Very easy money. I want you guys to know something. I don't drive 10 hours every day. Never. The most I drive is 9 hours. That's the most. Today, I drove 7. It just depends on the day, how I feel. Depends how far of a distance. How many days do I have to deliver this load? If I have 3 days and I feel I could get there in 2, I'll run it in 2. It all depends on me and how I feel. Sometimes you feel a little sluggy, sometimes you feel a little tired, so you split it up a little bit. It'll say, take this load over here, 2 days. Okay, so you do it in 2 days. You know, if it's 600 miles, 700 miles, you do 350 and 350. You know, you do 350 miles, and then you do another 350 miles, and you're there. You drop the load off, and you go. The majority of Pam's loads are drop and hook, and they are dry vans. There's no reefer vans, there's no flatbeds, there's none of that. It's go, pick up, and drop off. The fastest you can do it. I mean, I don't know what other people are talking about, or other people complaining on the internet about Pam, and they're this, and they're that. I have no idea what they're talking about. Pam has loads up the yin-yang. And they have loads. I have not stopped running. The minute I drop a load, I have to actually tell them, okay, I'm not going to pick up a load. I'll pick it up tomorrow. You know, I have to tell them. Like, if not, they want me to go, they'll try to squeeze another load on me. They'll say, go pick up this load. I said, no. It's time for me to park. My last 2 hours of my driving time is to park. There's certain things that you have to do as a trucker when you learn how to be a driver, that there are certain things you need to do. The last 2 hours of your 11 hours is for parking. Those last 2 hours, 10 and 11, those are off limits, meaning your DM cannot plan with that. They cannot plan with those two hours. Those are your 2 hours to park this truck, because Pam has a policy. So this is what I wanted to talk about a little bit real quick. Don't want to make this video too long, just a little bit happy. I got 5 weeks and I'll be 6 months with Pam. I have completed my contract with them. A lot of guys that I talk to, they want to leave. They looking at other companies for money. I'm not. I'm gonna stay with Pam. I like the way they are. I like the way they run. I like the way they take care of me and take care of the truck. I'm already used to the way they do things, and I like it. Okay? They don't bother me. They're not on top of you. They're not micromanaging you. As long as you do your thing and you run, they're not micromanaging you. You're a responsible driver, so they're not gonna bother you. You're taking care of business, getting the loads there on time. I have no problems with getting the loads there. And I don't drive 10 hours every day. I barely drive 10 hours a day. The most I'll drive is 8 or 9. Now, I have my own way of driving. Other people have theirs. Developing your own habit. It's called a driving habit. You're going to develop a driving habit with the policy of the company that you work for. Whatever your company is, listen very carefully, this is very important. Whatever policy your company has for driving, okay, for driving, you have to adapt to that policy in your driving. So the company has certain policies, and you adapt your driving to their policy. Like, for instance, I'll give you a few examples with Pam. Pam doesn't like drivers to park on the ramps. You see all these guys, they park on the ramps, they sleep on the ramps, they'll drive, and then any ramp they find, they just park right there and sleep, which is illegal. You could get a ticket for that. If a DOT cop come, they give you a ticket. The sheriff comes by, he could give you a ticket. Some people, they can't give you a ticket because you ran out of hours. If it says no parking on a ramp, you could get a ticket. It literally says no parking. This is not a parking spot. You're causing a hazard on the highway. So Pam has certain policies. No parking on ramps, no parking on the side of the highway. Can't just park on the side of the highway and go to sleep. I wouldn't do that. That's dangerous. I mean, the way these people drive, you have somebody fall asleep and slam into you going 75 miles an hour, you wind up dead. So I wouldn't do that just for safety issues. Like I couldn't sleep. Having trucks pass by me, I couldn't sleep. So Pam has certain policies that you have to follow. You do a pre-trip and you do a post-trip. These are certain things they want us to do. They want you to park the truck in a safe spot, in a legal spot. Okay? You're responsible for your truck. Okay, so you're the captain of the ship. They tell you that. The most valuable thing they say is you, the person driving the truck. So you develop your driving habits according to you adapt them according to the policy of your company. It's very important. Your company. Your company might not care about you. Your company might want you to run, and they want, Pam wants us to obey DOT and to make sure your ELD logs are correct. Make sure you're logged in. Make sure you're doing the right thing on that log, electronic log device. Maybe your company doesn't care. So you develop habits according to your company's policies. Your driving habits will be according to your company's policies. Your company might not give two rats' ass about you. I've seen a lot of companies out there promising a lot of people all this stuff, then they steal your money. Okay? They won't pay you. They will blackmail you. Once they got you certifying those logs that you are, you're certifying it that you did sleep, and those logs, and you're lying, and you say, I certified these logs, that I did do my 34-hour reset when you didn't do a 34-hour reset. It's you who are lying, not your company. Even though they jimmying they hack it into your system and they erasing it and they putting a different person or whatever, they change your name or whatever, the letter or whatever. That's you. That falls on you. They don't care. Then they blackmail you. I was talking to somebody about that. They can blackmail you because they still have the original logs in the company. And when you don't run for them the way they want you to run for them, they will blackmail you. They'll say, all right, we'll release your logs. The next time the DOT stops you, or they will send it to the DOT and say, look, this guy's not running, and screw you over. You're just looking to get screwed. When you screw around with that thing there, that's your livelihood. That electronic logging device, that's your responsibility. You are certifying. That's like going to court and raising your hand and say, yeah, I testified this is true. So you're falsifying the information into that thing and saying, yeah, I had a 34-hour reset. That's you are doing that, not the company. But the company has the original logs. They still have your original logs. And then they got the fake logs, right? The one that the DOT sees and you slept your last week and your clock is brand new and you haven't slept a damn wink. But they have the true logs. But you didn't sleep. So then when they really have your logs and they show the DOT your true logs, you're going to lose your license. It's your license. So if you have a legal license, why would you go against, if you have a legit license, why a legit CLD that you sweated and you trained and you win and you got your legit CDL license, you've got it. And you're going to go and jeopardize it for a couple of dollars. When you're a rookie, you start off, you know what? Don't believe the hype. Because later on, they're going to blackmail you. And the little bit of money you're making in the beginning, that's how they trick you. They'll first pay you a couple of times, big money in the beginning, the first couple of weeks. And then when you get to a certain point, they're going to screw you over. They're going to make you run. They're going to make you suffer. You're going to become their slave. That's all I got to say. That's why I like to run with PAM. Because I know they're a legit company. They're not trying to do scams on people. They pay their workers. I get my check. I'm getting paid lovely. I have no complaints whatsoever. Every time Thursday comes, I look at my bank account. It gets fatter. Okay? All I see is my bank account getting fatter and fatter every week. I have no complaints. They pay me every time, and I don't have to worry about them trying to scam me or steal. If I have any questions, I can always call, and they'll say, oh, that's right, we owe you this. Pop, 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 pop. We'll give it to you next week. I had a little question about why I wasn't paid a day or something like that. I don't want to get into it, but the next week they said, yup, they didn't put your hours in. We're gonna put it for next week. And the next week I saw it in the check. So it was like I had no doubt that they were gonna pay me. I didn't have to worry, oh my God, they're not gonna pay me. They didn't pay me. Oh my God, they didn't give me my money. I'm waiting for my money. I'm waiting for my money. So I just wanted to say PAM is a legit company that has a lot of loads, more loads than you could run. That's all I gotta say. They got more loads than you can run. They take care of their workers. They make sure you're safe. They make sure their equipment is good. They expect you to, let them know, hey, if the equipment is not right and it's messed up, it's up to you to say, hey, it's messed up. They say, okay, fix it. They'll send you to go get it fixed. They don't know if the equipment is messed up. That's your job. Your job is to check it, right? That's when you do your P-trip. You see something, the tire is messed up. Oh, I got to change the tire. Oh, it's going to take a long time. You know what? Get it changed. They're not going to say, no, don't change it. They're going to say, no, change it. It needs to get changed, change it. It doesn't have an inspection, we got to inspect it. PAM takes care of their equipment. They want you to take care of it. You know, they want you to let them know, hey, this is messed up. All right, let's fix it. It's not like other companies. You call them, hey, this is messed up. All right, just drive. Don't worry about it. Just drive it like that. It's like, hey, man, it's going to cause an accident. Don't worry about it. Like, don't I worry about it. I'm driving the truck. Like, no, they don't. Pam doesn't do that. And that's what I like about Pam. They fix it. They fix it. That's why I said, even though my 6 months is coming up, in celebration of completing the contract with Pam, and Pam making the contract with me and paying for my school, I'm staying with Pam. I'm going to stay with the company. I'm going to continue with Pam. Just so you guys can know, I'm making very good money. More than I thought. That's all I got to say. I'm making more than I thought I was going to make. Okay? I'm over the G now, right? So I'm in the G territory. Oh, out there, yeah, I'm in the G territory. Okay? So I'm making G money now. Easy. It's the same thing like when I was making a little bit of money. Now I'm making G money. So I'm even more happy. I'm a happy trucker now. So I got no complaints. I clean my truck. Pam takes care of me. I have 5 more weeks and I'll be 6 months with Pam. It went that fast. That's how fast it went. It went so fast. I don't know what to say, but I don't have any complaints with Pam. Other people complain about Pam. I don't know what they're talking about. As long as you do your job, they're not going to bother you. They don't be calling you every 5 minutes. What you doing? What? The sensor goes off. Beep, 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 beep. They're not calling you. What happened? What happened? Like, what the hell happened? Nah, so the guy got in front of me. You know, the sensor went off. You know, they're not bothering you every 5 minutes. As long as you don't crash, stuff like that. All I gotta say is, I like the company, and I'm gonna stay with the company. Because at least I know it's a legit company, and they don't try to screw you over. Which a lot of guys out there are getting screwed over. That's all I gotta say. In the beginning, you get paid a lot, and then they screw you over. And then they blackmail you. That's all I gotta say. They blackmail you. And then you become like a slave. In this day and age, they'll make you into a slave. They getting rich off of you. Ain't nobody getting rich off of me. Pam takes care of me. They paying for my school. They take care of the truck. It costs a lot to run a truck. You know, every time I fill up, it's $500. You know, 100 gallons is $500. You know, it's like $540, $525. You know, it fluctuates. But it's always been like that. You know, 100 gallons. If it's $3 a gallon, it's $300. Still, it's money. Insurance, the tires, you gotta fix the truck, you gotta do maintenance on the truck, all that is money. And Pam takes care of the truck. I get paid just to drive the truck. That's all I want to do. And I like doing it. And I feel secure. I want y'all to understand this is the most important point. The most important point that I feel secure and safe working with this company. Okay? Secure and safe. And I don't have to worry where my money's at. Alright? I don't have to be worried. Oh no, my money. Oh, they didn't pay me. Oh, they didn't. I don't worry about that. Every time I look, there's my money. It's there. And I don't have to worry about them pushing you. If you feel you don't want to drive, you can say, hey, I don't want to drive. I don't feel good today. They'll say, okay, stop, go park. And if the load has to get there, they'll send somebody to pick it up. That's how they are. That's how big Pam is. If I feel sick or something and say, hey, I can't make it, they'll say, okay, where you're at? I'm over here. They'll say, stop there. Stop at a Love or whatever. You know, the truck stop, stay there. They'll send somebody in another truck and take your load just so the load could get there. That's how good they are. So I just want to point that out. And I feel very safe, very comfortable, and secure with this company. Those of you out there shopping around, think about coming to Pam. It's up to you. You know, if you feel like, hey, I like companies. I like companies that are strict and they follow a policy. They don't brown nose nobody. As long as you follow their policy, you'd be good. That's all I gotta say. I got 5 weeks to go to make 6 months. I'll be celebrating on June 27th. Rollerblade Trucker out.